읽었습니다. 스마트 시티.
We'll have to ask you to sit downstairs, so please remain seated. So we are on our way to stop number 2. So right now we're here in the Seaport. The Seaport is our high-end district here in Boston, although it was originally laid out as an industrial district between the 1890s and early 1900s. On the right, this is where a lot of the factories were located. And here on the left where we're headed to, that's where the cargo piers were. And on these streets, you often find warehouses to store goods. So the industrial era of the Seaport came to an end during the 1960s and 70s, when the factories closed, and then so did the cargo piers. The Seaport, by the end of the 1970s, was only a this change, new infrastructure projects had to be built. So, here on the right, this is where this is the 10-lane tunnel here. So it opened in 1995, and it connects the Seaport with East Boston, where the airport is located. And below us, there's the connector, which connects the Ted Williams Tunnel with the rest of the Massachusetts Turnpike. And our streets here, like, and then this right here is the Silver Line. So the Silver Line is our bus rapid transit system, and it connects with the security Boston in state in lieu of the creation of the Polish Local Republic. So when the monument was first created in 1979, it was on display in Boston Common. I call it here to the Seaport in the early 2000s. And the artist wanted to, on the right, this is our fish pier. So the fish pier dates back to 1914, and it's one of the last remnants of the original Seaport. So this is where the fish gets brought in by the fishing trawlers, and the fishing process is started here. So as a process, the trucks and vans who deliver the fish to the various shops, restaurants, and supermarkets. And here on the right, this is what used to be known as the Commonwealth Pier. So the Commonwealth Pier was the largest cargo pier in all of New England until it closed. But it found new life as our World Trade Center. So currently, the World Trade Center is going through a major refurbishment. So it's not set to reopen for at least another year or two. That said, the old cargo berths were converted for passenger use during the 1990s. So those cargo berths are used by the ferries. So the ones we passed by earlier, that's where the ferry to Providence Town, which is located on Cape Cod, arrives and departs from. So it's about a 2-hour crossing of snow. And here on the right, this is the harbor cruise here. So the harbor cruise and the water taxi departs from that berth there. So you'll see there's this building on the right in the shape of a sail. So this is the St. Regis Residences. So the St. Regis Residences is made up of condos. But the condos here are wicked expensive. Wicked being the local term for the word very. And the starting point here on the right, you'll see through the gap between these two buildings, a brick building with an American flag. And that is the federal courthouse. So the federal courthouse is where they have the federal trial court, the District Court of Massachusetts, as well as the federal appellate court, the First Circuit Court of Appeals. So in that courthouse, that's where James Whitey Berger of the Winter Hill Gang was tried, as well as Doko Tsarnaev, who was one of the perpetrators of the Boston Marathon bombing 10 years ago. So most recently, this is where those rich people and celebrities pled guilty after they were busted hiring people. And here on the right, this is the Northern Avenue Bridge. So the Northern Avenue Bridge dates back to 1908. So up until 1997, this was a vehicular bridge. That same year, the bridge of Perpignan opened. So as a result, the Northern Avenue Bridge was relegated for pedestrian use only. Currently, the Northern Avenue Bridge is out of service because it's overdue for an overhaul. The only reason this overhaul hasn't commenced yet is that the city was hoping to raise the necessary funds for this overhaul, but those funds dried up during the COVID-19 pandemic. The revenue streams they were hoping to use to fund the overhaul dried up during the COVID-19 pandemic. So now the city has to look for money elsewhere, and with the city's budget being tight, Rosewood. So Rosewood, with its iconic American flag in the archway, that is where the Fazbear Kingdom comes to and fro every weekday, and they also have the harbor cruise from there as well. A bunch of other cruises like the Odyssey dining cruise in the evening. So it's a really nice wharf with a lot of ships. And it's also close to the marina, so you can see a lot of those private yachts. Now, here on the left, this is the Rose F. Kennedy Greenway. So the Rose F. Kennedy Greenway is named for a Kennedy, in this case, John F. Kennedy's mother. And the Greenway stretches from Haymarket up ahead, and it goes past the aquarium, past South Station, and it ends at Chinatown Gate. So from one end to the other, it's about a 30-minute walk. Now, the Greenway used to be the site of the elevated Central Artery Highway until that was moved underground as part of our big between 2003 and 2004, which allowed the creation of the Greenway. And you'll see in front of us, this is the New England Aquarium. So the New England Aquarium has some really nice exhibits, like my favorite penguin exhibit right after the main entrance. And here on the right, this is Long Wharf. So Long Wharf is where you'll catch the ferry to Charlestown to see the USS Constitution. My name is Terry, and I'm your tour guide, and our driver is Miguel. Just a quick safety message as we head out. While the bus is moving, under state law and city regulations, we require that you remain seated at all times. If we see that you're standing while the bus is moving, we'll have to ask you to sit downstairs, so please remain seated. So here on the left, this gigantic clock tower is the Customs House Tower. So it originally opened as the Customs House in 1847. So this is where the customs agents were stationed, albeit the tower still wasn't built. The tower came to be at the start of the 20th century when those customs agents being country when they vacated the premises. And after they left, the Marriott Vacation Club acquired control of the building, so nowadays, the Customs House Tower is a Marriott Vacation Club resort.